Right. Okay. Alright, I know I haven't done one of these, like, reviews where I'm just, like, sitting here and giving my thoughts. For a while, I guess, ever since, like, that Dark Universe review, which I probably, because it's, I guess, not the stuff I'm doing, but still doing it now. So, yeah, Babysitter Killer Queen is written by MGC or something like that. Stars a whole bunch of people, mostly people from the first movie. And that would kind of be an interesting twist, I guess, they wouldn't see coming. And that could be a spoiler, except happens 20 minutes into the film and it's revealed in the trailers. So, yeah, point is, so it's 2 years after the whole incident, and Cole is seeing people because they think it's delusions, so he decides to go with his friend. I guess it was kind of implied that they're a couple in the first movie, but I guess now they're not. Going to this lake, they party, and then weird shit starts happening. So it's hard to talk about this movie and how it fails and how it kind of works in some areas, but mostly fails because, spoiler alert, this is a really bad movie. Okay. Without getting into spoilers, so consider your. It's hard to talk about this movie without getting into spoilers, so yeah, consider yourself warned. I don't know, maybe just. I don't know. Point is, so yeah, this movie's pretty bad. I'll get into the good stuff, which is the main dad character gets much more screen time. Same thing with the mom, but it's a little bit of screen time for her. And this other dad, who's the dad, Melanie, they're funny. Melanie's dad is kind of annoying with the whole, like, only caring about the car. It's a little annoying. And I guess they try to be relatable by mentioning Fortnite and Halo and stuff like that. And they say LMAO and stuff like that. It's just like, but thankfully it's only for, like, it's very short, so they were entertaining. I liked their little side plot of finding the characters. It was kind of cool, entertaining. Like, nice little cutaway thing. I believe Jenna Ortega's character was kind of interesting. Cole, he was fine. You know, all the characters, they're enjoyable to watch, like the main bunch, like the Babysitters, along with, yes, again, spoilers, these new people that are part of this whole Babysitter thing. They're entertaining. They're not in it much, like, believe me. Like, I was expecting them to be in this movie more. No, they're not. They were entertaining. It's generally, entertainment scale, probably be like an 8 out of 10, because it's just generally very enjoyable. It looks good. The deaths are very gory, and they look good. There's one with a deer that looks like its legs are still standing and, like, blew up a bit too much for, like, a shot from, like, a pistol. Like, it looked like it just blew up. I'm like, okay. So yeah, it was generally competently made, it was entertaining, the characters were kind of cool, and I did like the little thing at the end where Cole's dad finally believes him, and the psychiatric that he's talking to was like, you know, you're my crowning achievement. That was kind of nice, a little heartwarming. Yeah. Now let's get into the bad stuff, which is like the entirety of the film. So the babysitter people, or like the part of the cult, they come back in the weirdest way possible that I'm not sure if is actually explained. Like, this movie feels like a goddamn fever dream, because I'm like, I don't know, maybe I wasn't paying attention too much, even though I'm pretty sure I was. It's just really confusing. They come back, I guess because the spell is giving them a couple hours to do this. I don't know. So yeah, they come back and they die like 50 minutes in. By that point, like, 2 of them have been exploded, one being killed by a propeller, other dude who never wears a shirt, which I'll get into later because it's actually kind of relevant to a thing that's kind of funny, but also kind of a problem I have with this movie. They die like extremely quick into the movie. They're introduced 20 minutes in, so they have 30 minutes of stuff, but they're more of a cutaway thing, so they don't do that much before they die, so it's kind of annoying. B, from the trailer, you know, I mean, because from the trailer you see, yeah, she comes around 80 minutes in, and this is a 100-minute movie, counting the credits, so it ends around 90-something minutes. So she comes in with like 10 or so minutes left of this movie, and it turns out she's a good guy, and she was trying to at least, she rigged the whole thing. Like, she gave like this teddy bear that was inside Jenna Ortega's character, because apparently she was her babysitter, and they got into a crash, and I guess this nurse was the demon. She was like, no, the kid's not gonna make it. She was like, I have to do something. I was like, what would you be willing to do? And it's like this weird demon face. I'm like, okay, I guess it's a demon, or is it taking over? Really random. So she was fun to watch, I guess, but I was confused, because I was like an hour into this movie. I'm like, okay, her character is not in this movie so far. What's gonna happen? Yeah, she shows up 80 minutes in, just saves them. They all get killed because they have to drink this blood from the innocent and something else. But turns out he got laid, so he's not innocent. By Jenna Ortega's character. I forget her name, honestly. It's like, Gotham. Kidding. So, yeah. And then they all die again. I guess they're brought back. I'm sorry. Was it explained? Because I feel like I might have missed it. Because this movie is like a fever dream to me, and it's so weird. Because there's pop culture references, like Mortal Kombat, where Jenna Ortega's character fights with Melanie, who turns out is a bad guy. I guess she got admitted into the cult, and it's never explained because they give the other characters explanations on why they joined. It's very short, but I'll get into that later. Like, the scenes themselves, they're like 20 seconds long. And part of it, I guess, is like some Walking Dead bullshit, because I'll get into that later. I've never seen the show, but I'll get into that. Yeah, she's evil now. Not really explained, I guess. It's just like, kids these days will do anything. It's like, oh, wow, okay. Yeah, that's facts. Explanation we get? Okay, wow, nice. Nice. It's like the Zombieland double tap bullshit, where the characters, like the two girls, Little Rock and, God, I forget Emma Stone's character, they learn to not, like, move, like, go away from them and kind of, like, stick together and stuff like that. They do that in the second movie, like, 30 minutes in. It's like that bullshit. It's like, oh, wow. I mean, I didn't see The Babysitter, I just know what happens, so maybe some stuff is actually more explained, but I thought they were kind of like a couple, and that was the whole point. No, she was taken over off screen. Really? Okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. Feels like a big middle finger to the people watching me, or maybe not. I have no idea. Maybe it was actually subtly forced, shown. And so yeah, when I said B was the good guy, because I guess she was, because she felt bad for Jenna Ortega's character because she was in a crash, and the miracle that she survived was her making a deal with the devil, so that was the whole thing in the first place. Okay, interesting. Okay. And she changed, I guess, like, after the car crash, and, like, Cole's character was like, you were my best friend, or I loved you, or something like that, and she was, like, smiling and crying, stuff like that, so I guess she changed then. But wasn't there a post-credit scene where she, like, killed a firefighter, and even Dead Meat kind of did, because I guess it's an actual kill? That's never mentioned. So, did she change? Why did she kill him? What? Okay, yeah, alright, you know what? Great. So yeah, the babysitter people, the cult, they're not in much. They die, and then they get brought back again. It's not really explained. Maybe it is. I keep on forgetting. The movie generally is fever dream. There's lots of weird pop culture references. Yeah, there's Mortal Kombat one. Yeah, where Melanie and Jenna Ortega's character, I keep on calling it that, fight. It was okay. Most of the pop culture references are fine, but it's not some scary movie stuff where it's, like, unbearable, or at least, the later sequels, which I didn't even bother to watch most of them. I watched the first one, a little bit of the second one, third one, a little bit of fourth, and 5 seconds of the fifth one. It was just too much. Too much. Oh my god. It's like the references were the plot itself. Not the plot. Just naturally had the references coming. Great. But it's kind of annoying. It kind of feels forced. I get the first movie may have had that. I don't know. It just didn't really work for me. Yeah, the deaths were cool, like I said. There's a rapist character who's in it for like 5 seconds, and he tries to, like, fuck Jenna Ortega's character, and he's like, come here, little fishy. I'm like, okay, really? And it was just funny because there's this whole feminism thing that's, like, literally, hold up, briefly brought up. Like, Melanie's character, she's like, the future is female. It's like the Force is female bullshit. It's like, okay, we're 65 minutes into this movie, and you're just sprinkling in a bit of feminism or something like that. Like, is it satire, or is it like a poke at media now? Because it's just said once and, like, completely thrown out of the window. It's never mentioned. What? The fuck is up with that? Like, they just mentioned that. It's like, the future is female. And then even King Bach's character, who's actually surprisingly tolerable in this movie. Just from all Instagram comedy that I've seen, it just looks refined comedy. I don't fucking know, I don't care. He was actually pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the characters were pretty funny. He was like, what the fuck? And I was like, yeah, what the hell? Like, it was just sprinkled in there for like 1 second. It's like, wait a minute. Shit, we're probably gonna get canceled if we don't have, like, some empowering female in it, The bad guy's female, so that's why we had to make B the good guy for literally no reason. Like, I get it, she kind of felt bad at the end, but then she killed that guy in the post-credit scene, I'm pretty sure. Like, what the fuck? She didn't change. What the hell? And she's barely in this movie. So that stuff is just really annoying. Like I said, so, the characters from the Babysitter, we get little brief snippets of how they're introduced to be, I guess. And they're really quick. One of them with King Bach, it's literally 5 seconds before he dies. So it's, I guess it's like the Walking Dead stuff where they, like, introduce more stuff about the character before he dies. So I guess he's really bad singing, and then she's like, hey. Like, that's, like, basically all she says. And then his death comes. When Cole tries to shoot him and misses, and then he grabs, like, the sword and cuts the thing from the lamp, and he's like, you're gonna die a virgin or something, and then gets killed by, like, this deer antler stuff, because Jenna Ortega's character's father is a hunter, I guess. Doesn't seem like a hunter character, but whatever. Yeah, and he dies. It's kind of cool. It's definitely cool. Again, the gore is really good. The deaths are cool. But again, with that deer thing, that was just, like, it exploded from, like, a shot from a pistol, I guess. I don't think that's how it works. But yeah, that, they did little snippets. It was, like, with, you know, Max, where he only put, like, this little tag thing on, like, his shirtless body. I was like, okay, that was kind of funny, because, like, he never wears a shirt. That was quick. They're all really quick, especially in the beginning, where Cole's just like, I don't need a babysitter. It was like the beginning, and then boom, cut to 2 years later. I'm like, okay. And then there's some, like, excuse me, it's all dream stuff, which is kind of annoying, but I guess it's his vision and stuff, kind of. But it just felt really cheap. So yeah, they're kind of introduced, like, we are introduced to how they were introduced to be for like 5 seconds, and it was kind of cool, I guess, but just really quick. What else? Yeah, this movie was generally weird. I think that might be it. This review is getting a bit long. I don't know what else to say. The characters weren't that great. The pop culture was forced, I guess. Yeah, it was forced. The actual cult was barely in it. B's character was barely in it. Forced pop culture stuff. The stuff that I did like was that it was funny, it was entertaining, it was fun, and stuff like that. So would I recommend? No, not really, not at all, actually. But, I don't know, because it kind of feels like a middle finger to the first movie. But, I don't know, you're not gonna completely hate yourself watching it. It's just this stuff like that. It's like, I don't know. What is it with these days? What is it these days, you know, with sequels being made that are, like, completely terrible and worse than the first movie? But this was made, like, 3 years after the first movie. Oh, and it has a Wakanda joke, so, yeah, that aged pretty well. I mean, it's not their fault, but maybe they could have cut it out or something. Like, even, like, a brief reshoot or something like that, a different joke. I don't know. Maybe not. So, yeah, I'm gonna give The Babysitter Killer Queen a D+. Yeah. This one was disappointing. Not the worst thing ever. Not that far from it. I'd say it's around about the same quality as Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, except that's way stupider. Like, oh my god, that's like insulting. No, that's worse. That's like a piece of garbage. I can't stand that. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you in my next video, which might be about another bad movie. But after that, hopefully, do maybe like a good shark movie or something. I was planning on something. Maybe I'll cover the first Babysitter movie. I don't know, because I heard that's good.